Good evening, beautiful people. Welcome to Bible in a Year with Lovie. We are on day 56, and I'm so excited that I am blessed with this gift of being able to share the word with y'all. I know that, man, God's been so good to me, and being able to share them with other people, it just brightens my day. And I know sometimes I get on here and I'm weary and I'm tired and I'm like, and maybe y'all sense that spirit of grr. But please know that I really am grateful for this platform and the opportunity to be able to just spread the word of God. And for those of you who watch the videos and share them, man, I really appreciate y'all. For those of you who have subscribed, thank you for that. Thank you for y'all's love and support. And I just ask that if y'all are receiving from these, please continue to like, share, and subscribe. And let's just get the word of God out there. That's the ultimate goal here, right? Let's get the word of God out there. So I apologize for getting this out late today, but at least it's not as late today as it was yesterday, right? Right. Okay. So day 56, we're going to read Numbers 9, 10, and 11. Then we're going to flip over to Mark chapter 5 and read it about halfway through. So if you guys are ready, let's dive right in. Numbers chapter 9. The second Passover. A year after Israel's departure from Egypt, the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai. In the first month of that year, he said, "Tell the Israelites to celebrate the Passover at the prescribed time, at twilight on the 14th day of the first month. Be sure to follow all my decrees and regulations concerning this celebration." So Moses told the people to celebrate the Passover in the wilderness of Sinai as twilight fell on the 14th day of the month. And they celebrated the festival there, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. But some of the men had been ceremonially defiled by touching a dead body, so they could not celebrate the Passover that day. They came to Moses and Aaron that day and said, "We've become ceremonially unclean by touching a dead body. But why should we be prevented from presenting the Lord's offering at the proper time with the rest of the Israelites?" Moses answered, "Wait here until I've received instructions for you from the Lord." This was the Lord's reply to Moses. "Give the following instructions to the people of Israel. If any of the people now or in future generations are ceremonially unclean at Passover time because of touching a dead body, or if they are on a journey and cannot be present at the ceremony, they may still celebrate the Lord's Passover. They must offer the Passover sacrifice 1 month later at twilight on the 14th day of the second month. They must eat the Passover lamb at that time with bitter salad greens and bread made without yeast. They must not leave any of the lamb until the next morning, and they must not break any of its bones. They must follow all the normal regulations concerning the Passover. But those who neglect to celebrate the Passover at regular time, even though they're ceremonially clean and not away on a trip, will be cut off from the community of Israel. If they fail to present the Lord's offering at the proper time, they will suffer the consequences of their guilt. And if foreigners living among you want to celebrate the Passover to the Lord, they must follow these same decrees and regulations. The same laws apply both to native-born Israelites and to foreigners living among you. On the day the tabernacle was set up, the cloud covered it. But from evening until morning, the cloud over the tabernacle looked like a pillar of fire. This was the regular pattern. At night, the cloud that covered the tabernacle had the appearance of fire. Whenever the cloud lifted from over the sacred tent, the people of Israel would break camp and follow it. And wherever the cloud settled, the people of Israel would set up camp. In this way, they traveled and camped at the Lord's command wherever he told them to go. Yeah, this might sound crazy to y'all, but I'm just saying, wouldn't it be so much easier if God directed our steps with a pillar of, fire? Like, because I'll be praying, God, please, be a light unto my path, make my way straight before me so I don't stumble and fall. Lord, please, light my way. Show me which way to go. And sometimes, the truth is that Satan is a master of deception, and he knows, especially when we're praying out loud, the things that we're praying. So, like, he can mislead us and trick us into going in the wrong direction. If we don't have incredibly good discernment and our prayer life ain't right, it's really easy to be led astray or in the wrong direction. So I'm just saying, like, I know the Israelites wandered in the wilderness for 40 years before they reached the promised land, but, like, they knew where they were going. They knew exactly which way to go. So, there's highs and lows to it. And I also know that God was very stern, and things had to be a certain way and all that. And that's all cool. I'm just saying, sometimes I wish that God would guide me with a visible fire cloud. Lovie, come this way. Like, wouldn't it be so much easier to know exactly which way he wanted you to go if he was right there showing you visibly? Anyways, random thought. Forgive me, y'all. If the cloud remained over the tabernacle for a long time, the Israelites stayed and performed their duty to the Lord. Sometimes the cloud would stay over the tabernacle for only a few days, so the people would stay for only a few days, as the Lord commanded. Then at the Lord's command, they would break camp and move on. Sometimes the cloud stayed only overnight and lifted the next morning. But day or night, when the cloud lifted, the people broke camp and moved on. Whether the cloud stayed above the tabernacle for 2 days, a month, or a year, the people of Israel stayed in camp and did not move on. But as soon as it lifted, they broke camp and moved on. So they camped or traveled at the Lord's command, and they did whatever the Lord told them through Moses. This walk will be so much easier having somebody direct you. Because sometimes this walk is not easy. It ain't. Like, let's just be real. We can be real, right? Sometimes this walk is not easy. So I'm just saying, like, sometimes it would be a lot easier if you had somebody just, like, directing you. I need direction sometimes. Please believe I'm far from perfect, and I need direction sometimes. And I just wish I had, that kind of direction. Very clear. No, it's not questionable. This is what you're supposed to do right here. Do it. Okay. Chapter 10. Now the Lord said to Moses, make two trumpets of hammered silver for calling the community to assemble and for signaling the breaking of camp. When both trumpets are blown, everyone must gather before you at the entrance of the tabernacle. But if only one trumpet is blown, then only the leaders, the heads of the clans of Israel, must present themselves to you. When you sound the signal to move on, the tribes can't wait. Okay. When you sound the signal to move on, the tribes camped on the east side of the tabernacle must break camp and move forward. When you sound the signal a second time, the tribes camped on the south will follow. The people to an assembly, on the south will follow. Okay. You must sound short blast as the signal for moving on. But when you call the people to an assembly, blow the trumpets with a different signal. Only the priests, Aaron's descendants, are allowed to blow the trumpets. This is a permanent law for you to be observed from generation to generation. When you arrive in your own land and go to war against your enemies who attack you, sound the alarm with the trumpets. Then the Lord your God will remember you and rescue you from your enemies. Blow the trumpets in time of gladness too, sounding them at your annual festivals and at the beginning of each month. And blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings and peace offerings. The trumpets will remind your God of his covenant with you. I am the Lord your God. Excuse me, y'all. In the second year after Israel's departure from Egypt, on the 20th day of the second month, the cloud lifted from the tabernacle of the covenant. So the Israelites set out from the wilderness of Sinai and traveled on from place to place until the cloud stopped in the wilderness of Paran, whatever. When the people set out for the first time following the instructions the Lord had given through Moses, Judah's troops led the way. They marched behind their banner, and their leader was Nahshon, son of Amminadab. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Issachar, led by Nathaniel, son of Zuar, and the troops of the tribe of Zebulun, led by Eliab, son of Helon. Whatever. Then the tabernacle was taken down, and the Gershonite and Merarite divisions of the Levites were next in the line of march, carrying the tabernacle with them. Reuben's troops went next, marching behind their banner. Their leader was Eleazar, son of Shedir. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Simeon, led by Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai, and the troops of the tribe of Gad, led by Eliasaph, son of Deuel. Next came the Kohathite division of the Levites, carrying the sacred objects from the tabernacle. Before they arrived at the camp, the tabernacle would already be set up at its new location. Ephraim's troops went next, marching behind their banner. Their leader was Elishama, son of Ammihud. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Manasseh, led by Gamaliel, son of Pedazur. And the troops of the tribe of Benjamin, led by Abidan, son of Gideoni. Dan's troops went last, marching behind their banner and serving as the rear guard for all the tribal camps. Their leader was Ahiezer, whatever, son of Ammishaddai. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Asher, led by Pagiel, son of Okran, and the troops of the tribe of Naphtali, led by Ahira, son of Enan. This was the order in which the Israelites marched division by division. One day Moses said to his brother-in-law, Hobab, son of Reuel, the Midianite, "We are on our way to the place the Lord promised us, for he said, I will give it to you. Come with us and we'll treat you well, for the Lord has promised wonderful blessings for Israel." But Hobab replied, "No, I will not go. I must return to my own land and family." "Please don't leave us," Moses pleaded. "You know the places in the wilderness where we should camp. Come, be our guide. If you do, we'll share with you all the blessings the Lord gives us." They marched for 3 days after leaving the mountain of the Lord, with the ark of the Lord's covenant moving ahead of them to show them where to stop and rest. As they moved on each day, the cloud of the Lord hovered over them, and whenever the ark set out, Moses would shout, "Arise, O Lord, and let your enemies be scattered. Let them flee before you." And when the ark was set down, he would say, "Return, O Lord, to the countless thousands of Israel." chapter 11. Soon the people began to complain about their hardship, and the Lord heard everything they said. Then the Lord's anger blazed against them, and he sent a fire to rage among them, and he destroyed some of the people in the outskirts of the camp. Then the people screamed to Moses for help, and when he prayed to the Lord, the fire stopped. After that, the area was known as Taberah, which means the place of burning, because fire from the Lord had burned among them there. Then the foreign rabble who were traveling with the Israelites began to crave the good things of Egypt. And the people of Israel also began to complain. "Oh, for some meat," they exclaimed. "We remember the fish we used to eat for free in Egypt, and we had all the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic we wanted. But now our appetites are gone. All we ever see is this manna." The manna looked like small coriander seeds, and it was pale yellow like gum resin. The people would go out and gather it from the ground. They made flour by grinding it with hand mills or pounding it in mortars. Then they boiled it in a pot and made it into flat cakes. These cakes tasted like pastries baked with olive oil. The manna came down on the camp with the dew during the night. Moses heard all the families standing in the doorways of their tents whining, and the Lord became extremely angry. Moses was also very aggravated. And Moses said to the Lord, "Why are you treating me, your servant, so harshly? Have mercy on me. What did I do to deserve the burden of all these people? Did I give birth to them? Did I bring them into the world? Why did you tell me to carry them in my arms like a mother carries a nursing baby? How can I carry them to the land you swore to give their ancestors? Where am I supposed to get meat for all these people? They keep whining to me, saying, 'Give us meat to eat.' I can't carry all these people by myself. The load is far too heavy. If this is how you intend to treat me, just go ahead and kill me. Do me a favor and spare me this misery." I'd say Moses was pretty aggravated at that point. For him to lash out at God, he has, he fears God. I mean, him and God are like this right here. So for him to lash out, the people of Israel done really worked his nerves. I just got to say, I mean, Moses really was like, "Say, man, just go on and kill me, because if this is how you're going to treat me after I did all this stuff you told me to do and I've been walking with you, just go ahead and take me out, because I'm tired. I don't want to keep dealing with this. I didn't sign up for this." Sorry, it's not funny. You should never talk to God like that. I'm just saying. But then the Lord said to Moses, "Gather before me 70 men who are recognized as elders and leaders of Israel. Bring them to the tabernacle to stand there with you. I will come down and talk to you there. I will take some of the Spirit that is upon you, and I will put the Spirit upon them also. They will bear the burden of the people along with you, so you will not have to carry it alone. And say to the people, 'Purify yourselves, for tomorrow you will have meat to eat.' You were whining, and the Lord heard you when you cried, 'Oh, for some meat. We were better off in Egypt.' Now the Lord will give you meat, and you will have to eat it. And it won't be just for a day or two, or for 5 or 10 or even 20. You will eat it for a whole month until you gag and are sick of it. For you've rejected the Lord, who is here among you, and you've whined to him, saying, 'Why did we ever leave Egypt?' But Moses responded to the Lord, 'There are 600,000 foot soldiers here with me, and yet you say, I will give them meat for a whole month. Even if we butchered all our flocks and herds, would that satisfy them? Even if we caught all the fish in the sea, would that be enough?' Then the Lord said to Moses, 'Has my arm lost its power? Now you will see whether or not my word comes true.' So Moses went out and reported the Lord's words to the people. He gathered the 70 elders and stationed them around the tabernacle. And the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke to Moses. Then he gave the 70 elders the same spirit that was upon Moses. And when the spirit rested upon them, they prophesied. But this never happened again. 2 men, Eldad and Medad, had stayed behind in the camp. They were listed among the elders, but they had not gone out to the tabernacle. Yet the Spirit rested upon them as well. So they prophesied there in the camp. A young man ran and reported to Moses, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. Joshua, son of Nun, who had been Moses' assistant since his youth, protested, Moses, my master, make them stop. But Moses replied, Are you jealous for my sake? I wish that all the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord would put his spirit upon them all. Then Moses returned to the camp with the elders of Israel. Now the Lord sent a wind that brought quail from the sea and let them fall all around the camp. For miles in every direction there were quail flying about 3 feet above the ground. So the people went out and caught quail all that day and throughout the night and all the next day too. No one gathered less than 50 bushels. They spread the quail all around the camp to dry. But while they were gorging themselves on the meat, while it was still in their mouths, the anger of the Lord blazed against the people, and he struck them with a severe plague. So that place was called Kibroth-Hattaavah, which means graves of gluttony. Ooh. Because there they buried the people who had craved meat from Egypt. From Kibroth-Hattaavah, the Israelites traveled to Hazeroth, where they stayed for some time. That's it for today on Numbers. Ooh, that spirit of gluttony, boy. Look, y'all, I need y'all to stand in prayer with me too, because like I said, I'm not perfect. I got issues, and see, one of my issues is gluttony, and that was just a real reminder, like, graves of gluttony, because they were whining because they wanted me, and they were complaining because they missed the delicacies of Egypt, and like, I ain't trying to, Lord, I need deliverance from gluttony. Yeah, like I said, I'm not perfect. I got my problems too. But God's working on me. I'm a work in progress. I'm way better now than I was before, so thank God for that. Anyways, with all that said, we'll pick up with Numbers tomorrow at chapter 12. But right now, we're going to flip over to Mark chapter 5. We're going to read down to verse 20, and then we're going to stop. So if y'all ready, here we go. Mark chapter 5. So they arrived at the other side of the lake in the region of Gerasenes, whatever that word is, whatever it is. I don't know. I can't pronounce it. So I'm doing the best I can. It is what it is. Yeah. When Jesus climbed out of the boat, a man possessed by an evil spirit came out from the tombs to meet him. This man lived in the burial caves and could no longer be restrained, not even with the chain. Whenever he was put into chains and shackles, as he often was, he snapped the chains from his wrists and smashed the shackles. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Day and night he wandered among the burial graves and in the hills, howling and cutting himself with sharp stones. When Jesus was still some distance away, the man saw him, ran to meet him, and bowed low before him. With a shriek, he screamed, "Why are you interfering with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In the name of God, I beg you, don't torture me." For Jesus had already said to the spirit, "Come out of the man, you evil spirit." Then Jesus demanded, "What is your name?" And he replied, "My name is Legion, because there are many of us inside this man." Then the evil spirits begged him again and again not to send them to some distant place. There happened to be a large herd of pigs feeding on the hillside nearby. "Send us into those pigs," the spirits begged. "Let us enter them." So Jesus gave them permission. The evil spirits came out of the man and entered the pigs, and the entire herd of about 2,000 pigs plunged down the steep hillside into the lake and drowned in the water. 2,000! That for real is a legion of demons right there. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. The herdsmen fled to the nearby town and the surrounding countryside, spreading the news as they ran. People rushed out to see what had happened. A crowd soon gathered around Jesus, and they saw the man who had been possessed by the legion of demons. He was sitting there fully clothed and perfectly sane, and they were all afraid. Then those who had seen what happened told the others about the demon-possessed man and the pigs. And the crowd began pleading with Jesus to go away and leave them alone. As Jesus was getting into the boat, the man who had been demon-possessed begged to go with him. But Jesus said, "No, go home to your family and tell them everything the Lord has done for you and how merciful he has been." So the man started off to visit the 10 towns of that region and began to proclaim the great things Jesus had done for him. And everyone was amazed at what he told them. Man, I bet. I'm amazed with the things that Jesus did. I mean, like, all the way. Jesus never ceases to amaze me. I love the Bible, y'all. I love the Bible. I do. And I hope y'all get as excited to read the Bible as I do. Anyways, that's all for today, guys. We'll pick back up tomorrow. Numbers 12, 13, 14. And then we'll read the rest of Mark chapter 5. And until then, guys, I love y'all. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are the most awesome group of followers. And just remember, man, if you want to see the change, you got to be the change. We lead by example, but we follow by design. If it ain't a God thing, it ain't a good thing. Don't forget to love like Jesus. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.